Every misplaced object is leaving evidence. The clothes on the chair, the charger on the floor, the unopened package near the door, the cups that never return to the kitchen. Most people call this laziness, but what if the home itself is training you to create clutter? When an object is repeatedly left in the same place, it is revealing a problem. Its assigned home may be too far away, the drawer may be too full, the box may require too many actions to open, or the object may never have been given a real home at all. That is why cleaning harder often changes nothing. You clear the room, you organize the shelves, but the same mess returns because the same movements continue. Japanese-inspired organization begins somewhere different. It studies where objects enter, where they travel, where they stop, and why they fail to return. In the next 7 chapters, you will learn 11 techniques that do more than make a room look neat. You will discover how to make the correct action easier than the wrong one, how to place daily items where one hand can reach them, how to make every drawer reveal its complete inventory, how to stop an entire category from growing by giving it one physical limit, and how to reset your home before one misplaced object attracts 10 more. By the end, you may stop asking, why can't I stay organized? Because the better question is, what is my home teaching me to do every day? 1. The space compression map. Find the 30% of your home you never knew you had. Most people start organizing in the wrong way. They open a cupboard, remove everything, buy a few boxes, and try to fit the same objects back inside. The cupboard may look better for a few days, but the real problem has not changed. The home is still using valuable space for the wrong things. Before you move anything, you need to understand the value of each storage area. Not every shelf has the same value. A shelf directly in front of your eyes is more useful than a shelf near the ceiling. A drawer beside your hand is more useful than a box under the bed. Space that is easy to reach should be protected for objects you use often. This is the first Japanese-inspired idea. Create a frequency map. A frequency map is a simple way to divide your home according to how often you touch an object. The area between your shoulders and your knees is your most valuable storage zone. You can reach it without bending, stretching, or moving other objects. This space should hold the things you use every day. In the kitchen, this may include plates, cups, cooking tools, spices, and food you use often. In the wardrobe, it may include work clothes, daily shirts, socks, and sleepwear. Near your desk, it may include your notebook, charger, headphones, and important documents. Objects used once or twice a week can be stored slightly higher or lower. Objects used only a few times a year should be placed in the least convenient spaces, such as the top of a wardrobe, the back of a cupboard, or under a bed. Many homes feel small because rare objects are using the best space. A large serving dish used twice a year may be sitting in front of the plates used every day. Old documents may be filling the easiest desk drawer. Winter blankets may be taking up the center of a wardrobe during summer. This forces people to move 5 objects just to reach one useful item. Take one room and ask 3 simple questions. How often do I use this? How quickly do I need to reach it? Does it deserve this position? Do not ask whether the object is good or bad. Ask whether its location matches its importance. This one exercise can reveal a surprising amount of hidden space. The second idea is to protect visual emptiness. Many people believe an empty shelf must be filled. They see an open corner and immediately place a chair, plant, table, or storage basket there. They see a clear kitchen counter and begin adding machines, jars, decorations, and containers. But empty space is not useless space. Empty space allows your eyes to rest. It makes furniture feel lighter. It helps a small room feel open. It also gives you temporary working space when you are cooking, folding clothes, packing a bag, or cleaning. A clear surface is useful because it can change its purpose at any moment. A crowded surface has only one purpose: holding clutter. Choose one surface in each room that must remain mostly empty. It may be the dining table, the top of a cabinet, part of the kitchen counter, or the table beside your bed. Do not decorate every centimeter. Leave some space around each object. When objects are pushed closely together, the eye sees one heavy mass. When there is breathing room between them, the room feels calmer. You do not need to remove everything. You need to reduce the number of things fighting for attention. Try the 50% test. Look at one open surface and remove half of the objects. Place the removed objects in a temporary box for 7 days. During those 7 days, notice whether the room becomes easier to clean and more peaceful to enter. You may discover that you do not miss most of what you removed. The goal of the space compression map is not to force more objects into your home. The goal is to give the right objects the right positions while protecting enough empty space for the home to breathe. When important objects become easier to reach and rare objects move away, the home begins to feel larger without gaining even 1 extra meter. 2. The threshold firewall. Stop clutter before it crosses the door. Clutter does not suddenly appear in the middle of a room. It enters slowly. A shopping bag arrives through the door. A receipt enters inside a pocket. A delivery box is placed near the sofa. Shoes are left in the hallway. A coat lands on a chair. Keys are dropped on a table. A letter is placed on the kitchen counter. Within a few hours, objects from outside have traveled through the entire home. The entrance should not be treated as a small space you simply walk through. It should work like a control point. This is the third idea. Create an entrance quarantine zone. A quarantine zone is one limited place where incoming objects must wait until you decide what will happen to them. This area does not need to be large. It may be 1 basket, 1 shelf, 1 tray, or 1 small section of a cabinet near the entrance. When you return home, do not carry everything into different rooms. Place incoming objects inside the quarantine zone first. Now process them one by one. Shoes go to their assigned place. Keys go into 1 tray. Receipts are thrown away or stored. Packages are opened. Packaging leaves the home. New products are moved to their correct rooms. Clothes are hung up. Letters are read, filed, or removed. The important rule is that the quarantine zone must have a fixed limit. It cannot become another permanent pile. Choose a small container. When it becomes full, nothing new can enter until the old objects have been processed. This physical limit gives you an early warning. It shows you that clutter is entering faster than you are making decisions. Many people allow delivery boxes to remain near the entrance because they plan to deal with them later, but a box that remains for 3 days quickly becomes part of the room. Other objects are placed on top of it. Soon the temporary box becomes a permanent table. Remove packaging as soon as possible. The product may be small, but the box around it can be 5 times larger. Homes often waste space by storing air inside empty boxes. Keep only boxes that are truly needed for returns, warranties, or safe storage. Place a clear date on them. When the return period ends, remove the box. The fourth idea is to create an exit-ready station. Most entrance systems only manage what comes into the home. A strong system must also manage what needs to leave. The exit-ready station holds everything that must go out with you. This can include an umbrella, keys, a work bag, a library book, a package that must be returned, shopping bags, documents, or an item you borrowed from someone. Without an exit-ready station, these objects travel around the home. A return package may sit in the bedroom. An umbrella may disappear into a cupboard. Important papers may stay on the dining table because you are afraid you will forget them. Place them near the door instead. Use 1 hook for your daily bag. Keep a small tray for keys and cards. Create 1 narrow basket for returns and objects that must leave the home. Do not make this area too large. A large basket invites delay. A small basket forces action. Prepare the station during the evening, not during the morning rush. Place tomorrow's bag there. Add anything you must take with you. Check the weather and prepare an umbrella or jacket when needed. Put returns beside your shoes so you cannot leave without seeing them. This saves more than space. It saves mental energy. You no longer need to search the home every morning. You no longer need to remember 5 objects at the same time. The entrance carries part of the responsibility for you. There is also an important separation rule. Objects from outside should not automatically enter clean or private areas. Outdoor shoes should remain near the entrance. Shopping bags should be emptied before entering storage areas. Coats should have their own place instead of landing on a bed. Mail should be processed before reaching the kitchen. The entrance becomes a line between outside movement and inside calm. A good threshold firewall does not make the entrance look impressive. It quietly prevents hundreds of small objects from spreading into the home. When clutter is stopped at the door, every other room becomes easier to control. 3. The one-motion storage code. If it takes 3 actions, you will not keep doing it. A storage system can look beautiful and still fail. You may buy matching boxes, add labels, and arrange everything perfectly. But after 2 weeks, the room becomes messy again. The problem may not be laziness. The system may require too many actions. Imagine that you want to return one cleaning cloth. First, you open a cupboard, then you remove a large basket. Next, you take off the lid. After that, you move another object and place the cloth at the bottom. That small action contains too much friction. When people are tired, busy, or in a hurry, they do not follow complicated systems. They leave the cloth on the counter and promise to put it away later. Later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes a pile. This is the 5th idea. Store objects at their point of use. An object should live close to the place where its job happens. Do not store every cleaning product in one distant cupboard simply because all cleaning products belong to the same category. Keep the bathroom cleaner near the bathroom. Keep a small cloth near the place where you wipe the dining table. Keep rubbish bags close to the bin. Keep tea close to the kettle. This reduces the distance between using an object and returning it. Look at the objects that are often left outside their storage areas. Their behavior is giving you useful information. A blanket always remains on the sofa because its storage place is in another room. Chargers remain on the floor because the drawer is too far from the sockets. Shoes stay beside the door because the shoe cabinet is difficult to open. Daily clothes remain on a chair because their wardrobe space is blocked by clothes you rarely wear. Do not begin by blaming the person. Study the movement of the object. The place where an object is repeatedly left may be the place where it needs a better home. You can create small point-of-use kits. A simple sewing kit may stay near the place where you usually repair clothes. A morning drink station may hold cups, tea, coffee, and sugar together. A school station may hold bags, notebooks, pens, and charging cables in one area. The goal is not to create hundreds of categories. The goal is to reduce unnecessary movement. The 6th idea is to design storage for one-hand access. Frequently used objects should be easy to remove and easy to return using one natural movement. A heavy lid creates friction. A deep pile creates friction. A container hidden behind another container creates friction. A hanger packed tightly between 20 other hangers creates friction. A drawer that must be pushed hard creates friction. Each small difficulty makes the system weaker. Test your storage by holding one object in your hand. Can you return it without moving anything else? Can you do it while carrying something in your other hand? Can a child or older person use the system safely? For daily objects, open containers often work better than closed boxes. Hooks may work better than drawers. Upright files may work better than paper stacks. Sliding baskets may work better than deep shelves. This does not mean everything should remain visible. It means the storage should open easily and reveal what is inside. Think about container direction. A box that opens from the top becomes difficult to use when another box is placed above it. An open front container allows you to reach the contents without removing the whole container. A drawer uses the full depth of a shelf while still bringing hidden objects forward. Also, study the size of the opening. A laundry basket with a wide opening is easier to use than a beautiful, narrow basket with a lid. A rubbish bin under an open counter may be easier to use than one hidden behind 2 cupboard doors. The best storage system is not the one that looks perfect when it is empty. It is the one people can continue using when they are tired. Use the 2-second return test. Choose a daily object and return it to its assigned place. Count how long it takes. When the action feels slow, difficult, or annoying, simplify it. Remove the lid. Move the container forward. Reduce the number of objects inside. Add a hook. Change the position. Bring the storage closer to the activity. Good organization does not demand perfect behavior. It makes the correct behavior easier than the incorrect behavior. When an object can be returned in one motion, the home begins to organize itself through normal daily movement. 4. The vertical inventory system. Never lose an object under another object. Horizontal stacking is one of the most common causes of hidden clutter. You fold 10 shirts and place them on top of one another. The drawer looks neat, but when you need the shirt near the bottom, you lift the entire pile. The shirts move, unfold, and become mixed. After a few days, the neat stack collapses. The bigger problem is that you cannot see everything you own. The objects at the top remain active, the objects at the bottom slowly disappear from your memory. This leads to repeated buying. You purchase another black shirt because you forgot about the black shirt under the pile. You buy more food because the older packets are hidden behind newer ones. You replace a document because the original is buried under other papers. This is the seventh idea. File soft objects vertically instead of stacking them. After folding clothes, place them upright and side by side, like books on a shelf. Now every item has a visible edge. You can see the entire category at once. You can remove one shirt without lifting the others. You can return it without rebuilding a pile. Vertical filing works well for shirts, trousers, towels, cleaning cloths, scarves, reusable shopping bags, pillow covers, and some types of bedding. The fold does not need to be perfect. The important point is that the item can stand or remain supported inside the drawer. Start by measuring the height of the drawer. Fold each item to a size that fits below the top. Place the folded edge upward so you can identify the item easily. Do not pack the drawer too tightly. Your hand should be able to move between the items. When everything is pressed together, removing and returning clothes becomes difficult. You can also arrange items by type or use. Daily shirts can stay at the front. Work clothes can stay together. Exercise clothes can have their own section. The purpose is not to create a beautiful color display. The purpose is to make every object visible and independently removable. The eighth idea is to use fixed containers as physical boundaries. A category without a boundary will continue growing. Pens spread through several drawers. Cleaning products take over a cupboard. Food containers multiply. Towels fill every open shelf. Bags appear inside other bags. A fixed container gives each category a clear limit. Choose one drawer, tray, basket, or shelf for the category. That space becomes the maximum amount you are allowed to keep. For example, all reusable bags may need to fit inside one narrow box. All cables may need to fit inside one drawer. All food containers may need to fit on one shelf. All spare towels may need to fit in one basket. When the container becomes full, do not immediately buy a larger container. First, review what is inside. Are there broken objects? Are there duplicates? Are there items you never use? Are several objects performing the same job? The full container is not a storage failure. It is a decision signal. It tells you that the category has reached its agreed limit. This is very different from placing objects wherever there is empty space. When one category spreads across several rooms, you lose control of its total size. You may not realize that you own 20 pens because they are divided between 5 drawers. Bring the full category together before choosing its container. Collect every cable in the home. Collect every reusable bag. Collect every notebook. Collect every cleaning cloth. Only then can you see the true amount. Choose a container based on the amount that is useful, not simply the amount you already own. For small objects, use internal dividers. A large drawer without divisions quickly becomes one mixed box. Smaller sections keep items upright and stop categories from crossing into one another. However, do not create very tiny categories that are difficult to remember. The system should remain simple. Daily cables is easier than creating a separate box for every type of wire. Writing tools may be easier than dividing every color and pen style. The vertical inventory system gives you 2 important powers. First, you can see what you own. Second, you can see when you own too much. When nothing is buried and every category has a limit, storage stops being a place where forgotten objects disappear. It becomes a clear inventory you can understand in seconds. 5. The dead space harvest. Turn architectural gaps into hidden storage. Many homes contain useful space that ordinary furniture does not reach. There may be a narrow gap beside a refrigerator, an empty area under the bed, unused height above a door, open space behind a cabinet door, or a deep corner that is difficult to access. These spaces are often ignored because they are not shaped like normal shelves. This is the 9th idea. Match storage to the shape of the forgotten gap. Do not place a large piece of furniture in every open area. First, study the shape of the space. A narrow gap needs narrow storage. A low gap needs flat storage. A high gap needs lightweight storage. A deep gap needs sliding storage. A door needs shallow hanging storage. When the storage matches the shape, you can recover space without making the room feel heavier. Start with the space under furniture. Before buying underbed boxes, measure the height, width, and depth. Do not guess. A box that is slightly too tall becomes useless. A box that is much smaller wastes the available area. Use underbed storage for items that are useful but not needed every day. Seasonal clothing, extra bedding, travel bags, or special event items may work well. Avoid placing random objects under the bed. Hidden space should not become forgotten space. Use clear containers or large labels. Keep similar objects together. Make sure the box can slide out easily without moving the bed. Next, look behind doors. A door can hold light, shallow objects. Hooks can hold bags, robes, cleaning tools, or frequently used clothing. A narrow hanging organizer can store small bathroom items, accessories, or household supplies. But check whether the door can still open fully. Storage that blocks movement is not saving space. It is creating a new problem. Cabinet doors can also hold light objects. Small racks may hold lids, cloths, or thin tools. Do not attach heavy objects that may damage the door or make it difficult to close. Now look upward. The space above wardrobes and cabinets is often unused. This area is suitable for light objects that are rarely needed. Use matching clothes containers to reduce visual noise. Label them clearly from the front. Never place heavy objects high above your head. Space saving should not create danger. High storage needs a clear rule. Nothing should go up unless you are willing to bring it down when needed. People often place unwanted objects on top of wardrobes because they do not want to make a decision. Years later, the objects are covered in dust and still unused. That is not storage, it is delayed removal. Study narrow wall sections too. A thin wall beside a door may hold a few hooks. The side of a cabinet may hold a small rail. A narrow vertical shelf may fit between furniture pieces. However, do not fill every wall simply because you can. Dead space harvesting should recover useful storage while keeping the main room visually calm. The 10th idea is to replace space-holding furniture with transforming furniture. Some furniture performs one job but occupies space all day. A large dining table may be used for only 1 hour. Extra chairs may remain empty most of the week. A fixed desk may hold nothing except a laptop. Several small tables may block movement. Transforming furniture changes according to need. A folding table can disappear after use. Nesting tables can slide underneath one another. Stackable chairs can be reduced when guests are not present. A storage bench can provide seating and hidden space. A rolling cart can move between the kitchen, office area, and dining space. The most useful furniture does not simply store objects. It allows the room to change purpose. Before buying furniture, ask 3 questions. How many hours each day will I use it? Can it perform more than one useful job? Can it become smaller or move when I do not need it? Do not buy multifunctional furniture only because it looks clever. Each function should be easy to use. A bed with storage that is too heavy to lift will not help. A folding table that takes 10 minutes to open will remain closed. The movement must be simple enough for normal life. Also, protect walking paths. A room may technically fit more storage, but that does not mean more storage should be added. When furniture blocks natural movement, the room feels smaller and becomes harder to clean. Walk through the room while carrying a basket. Open every door and drawer. Pull out every chair. Check whether furniture collides. The goal of dead space harvesting is not to fill the entire home. It is to move storage away from valuable living areas and into shapes that were previously ignored. Recover the hidden gaps, then protect the open floor. That balance makes a small home work without making it feel like a storage room. 6. The replacement gate. Make every new object earn its place. A home can be organized perfectly and still become crowded again. New objects continue entering. A new shirt arrives. An old shirt stays. A new cup arrives. The other cups stay. A new kitchen tool enters the drawer. The old tool remains beside it. One object may seem harmless, but hundreds of just one more decisions slowly fill every space. The problem is not only how much you own today. The problem is whether you have a rule controlling what enters tomorrow. This is the 11th idea. Use the one in, one out category rule. When one new object enters a full category, one existing object from the same category must leave. A new shirt replaces a shirt. A new pair of shoes replaces a pair of shoes. A new pan replaces a pan. A new bag replaces a bag. This rule is more powerful when the decision happens before the purchase. Before buying something, ask, which object will this replace? This question changes the meaning of shopping. You are no longer asking only whether you like the new object. You are comparing it with something you already own. Is the new shirt more useful than one of your current shirts? Will the new kitchen tool perform a job better than an existing tool? Does the new decoration deserve the space more than the decoration already there? When you cannot name the object it will replace, the purchase may not be necessary. The rule should be applied by category, not by random exchange. Buying a new coat and throwing away a pen does not solve the pressure inside the wardrobe. The outgoing object must free the type of space the new object needs. There are times when one in, one out is not enough. When a category is already too large, use one in, two out until the amount returns to a comfortable level. You can also create a waiting period for non-essential purchases. Take a photo or write the item on a list. Wait 7 days before buying it. During this time, check what you already own and decide what the new item would replace. Desire is often strongest at the moment of discovery. After several days, you may realize that the object is not necessary. Small homes need stronger entry rules because every new object creates pressure immediately. But large homes need these rules too. Extra rooms can hide accumulation for years. The replacement gate also applies to gifts and free items. An object does not stop using space simply because you did not pay for it. Before accepting something, ask where it will live, how often it will be used, and what category it will join. Do not accept an object first and search for space later. Space is part of the cost. Every possession requires a location. It may need cleaning, repair, charging, protection, or future decisions. Even a free object asks for your attention. Create a small departure box for items waiting to leave the home. When you replace something, place the old item inside the box immediately. Do not return it to the cupboard while you decide what to do. That gives the object a chance to disappear into storage again. Choose one regular day to empty the departure box through donation, recycling, return, repair, or responsible disposal. Do not allow the box to become permanent storage. The replacement gate is not punishment. It protects the progress you have already made. Without an entry rule, organizing becomes an endless battle. You remove objects, buy more containers, and then repeat the same work several months later. With a replacement gate, the total amount remains stable. Your home stops expanding its possessions and starts improving their quality. Every new object must prove that it is more useful, more suitable, or more meaningful than the object already occupying its future space. 7. The closing shift ritual. Reset the home before disorder can multiply. Even the best organization system cannot stop objects from moving. During the day, cups leave the kitchen, clothing leaves the wardrobe, chargers leave drawers, papers move across tables, cushions fall out of place, bags enter through the door. This movement is normal. The problem begins when today's movement remains until tomorrow. One cup on the table becomes 3 cups. One shirt on the chair becomes a pile. One unopened package becomes a surface for other objects. Disorder grows because each misplaced object gives permission for another object to join it. The closing shift ritual stops this multiplication. Think of your home as a small shop at the end of the day. Before the shop closes, objects return to their positions, surfaces become ready, rubbish leaves, and tomorrow's important items are prepared. The ritual does not need to become a long cleaning session. It should be short, simple, and repeated in the same order. Begin with the return stage. Walk through the main living areas with an empty basket. Place every object that belongs in another room inside it. Do not leave the room 5 times to return 5 separate objects. Collect them first, then move through the home once and place them in their assigned locations. This reduces wasted movement. The return stage also tests your storage system. When you repeatedly find the same object outside its assigned place, ask why. Perhaps its storage is too far away. Perhaps the container is full. Perhaps returning it requires too many actions. Perhaps the object has no clear home. Do not simply return the object every night forever. Improve the system that allows it to escape. Next comes the reset stage. Reset the main surfaces that strongly affect how the home feels. This may include the dining table, kitchen counter, sofa, entrance, and desk. You do not need to clean every hidden corner. Focus on the areas your eyes see first in the morning. A clear kitchen counter makes breakfast easier. An empty dining table gives the room an immediate feeling of order. A prepared sofa makes the living room feel calm. A clear desk allows work to begin without delay. Choose 3 reset surfaces for your home. These surfaces should not be used as permanent storage. During the reset, remove objects that do not support the main purpose of the surface. The dining table is for dining and temporary activities, not long-term paper storage. The kitchen counter is for food preparation, not every machine you own. The sofa is for sitting, not holding clean laundry. The next stage is preparation. Look at tomorrow before the day begins. Place your keys, bag, documents, and anything that must leave the home at the exit-ready station. Prepare clothing when the morning will be busy. Charge necessary devices. Refill water. Place important items where they will support the next activity. Preparation is not only about saving time, it prevents panic from destroying the organization system. When people are late, they open several drawers, remove many objects, and leave them behind. A calm evening preparation protects the home from a rushed morning. The final stage is removal. Take out rubbish that may create smell or visual mess. Remove empty delivery boxes. Place unwanted objects into the departure box. Return anything that belongs outside the home. Do not carry every small task into tomorrow. A home feels heavy when it contains many unfinished decisions. A package waiting to be returned is an unfinished decision. A broken object waiting for repair is an unfinished decision. A bag of donations sitting for 3 months is an unfinished decision. The closing shift should move at least one unfinished object closer to completion. Keep the ritual short enough to repeat. A powerful 10-minute routine is better than a perfect 1-hour routine that happens only once a month. You can use one song, a short timer, or a fixed order of rooms. Begin at the entrance, move through the living room, reset the kitchen, and finish near the bedroom. Use the same path each night. Repetition removes the need to think. Do not organize drawers during the closing shift. Do not begin large decluttering projects. Do not stop to examine old photographs or documents. The purpose is to close the day, not rebuild the entire home. There may be nights when you have very little energy. Create a 3-minute emergency version. Return obvious objects. Clear one main surface. Prepare tomorrow's essentials. This small reset protects the system until you have more energy. The closing shift ritual brings all the earlier chapters together. The space compression map gives every important object a useful position. The threshold firewall controls what enters and leaves. The one motion code makes objects easy to return. The vertical inventory system keeps possessions visible. The dead space harvest gives occasional objects suitable storage. The replacement gate prevents categories from growing forever. The closing shift keeps these systems alive through daily use. A permanently organized home is not a home where nothing moves. It is a home where movement has a clear ending. Every object travels during the day, but before disorder can multiply, the object returns to a place designed for it. A well-organized home is not one where nothing moves. It is one where every object knows how to return. Start with one drawer, one surface, or one problem area today. Change the system, and the habit will begin to change with it. Because when your home becomes easier to use, staying organized no longer feels like a daily battle.